So if you are like me and getting older, and I'm in the category of being a senior golfer, it pains me to say it, but it's true, there's some things that we can do to help retrieve a little bit of distance. So this video is all about some little tweaks that can help you gain a few more yards. There's going to be no magic big bounce of distance, but they will give you a few more yards. So the first thing we need to think of is, as we get older, our bodies don't turn and rotate as much as what we once did when we were younger. Now, if we then think about maybe we're not as active as we once were, that is another reason why we stop our ability to rotate. So when I watch a lot of the senior golfers, today's Friday here at Eastwood, and there are seniors out there now, and I've just seen a couple of people tee off, their big mistake they're making is they get really wide in their stance. And I've got to say, it feels fantastic to be wide. It feels really strong and powerful. The problem is, the wider I stand, the less I can rotate my hips. So if I can't rotate my hips, something has to rotate to give me some swing length. And what it turns out to be is we over-rotate our body and we tend to sway our upper body and create a lot of movement. That really does reduce a lot of power. So one of the tricks that I actually get some of my clients to use is, as we get older, have a narrower stance. Because if I have my feet together, I can then rotate a lot more. Now, the trade-off between having a very narrow stance with my feet together is, while I can rotate a lot easier, my balance isn't quite as good and I can easily fall off. So the trade-off between balance and the ability to rotate is about shoulder width. So we want our stance to be about shoulder width, but I've had some good success with some of the older clients that I coach to be a little bit narrower than that. So if we can just have slightly narrower stance, you can actually swing and you can feel that your body and your hips can turn a lot more freely. So that's the first one. Really simple thing to do, and it will benefit you. So just narrow down that stance and it's going to help. The second thing that we can do, we actually do it away from the golf course. I'm going to use my golf bag here as a bit of an example. And this is a terrific drill. So we'll get rid of the club. Imagine I've got my setup here. What I want to do with this is I want to turn and put my left foot on my bag. So as I do that, I'm loading into my right side, and in particular, I can feel the weight shifting into my back right heel. So when I do that, my right leg is remaining straight, and I can feel that stretch. So we hold it for 5 seconds, and then we do that. You can do it at home on a step at home, you can do it on a bucket, whatever's around. If the golf cart's over there, you can do it, and you can step and hold on the golf cart. But that's stretching and teaching you how to turn into your right side, and you really will feel that on your back heel. So golf pros feel it in the back heel, the average amateur feels it on the right toes. So if you're on the right toes, you're not turning enough. So just that simple little exercise of doing that is really good. Now, if you do it away from the course, and you might decide, I'm going to do 10 of those in the morning and 10 of those at night, after a little while, you'll actually start feeling, I'm turning a little bit more. So it does help and unlock your hips for a better turn, longer swing, you'll get more distance. So the other thing I notice when I'm looking at some of the older people out there playing is they keep their left heel planted on the ground. So if I swing and keep my left heel planted on the ground, you can see where my left knee goes. If I can lift my left heel off the ground, doesn't have to be a massive amount, but if I lift that left heel off the ground, I can get a deeper turn into my right leg and into my back heel, a bit like that last exercise. So if you look at some of the players on the PGA Tour, they're hitting it longer now than what they ever have. There's more and more people that are lifting that left heel in their backswing to give themselves a bigger turn to get more distance. So as you're hitting shots, it'll feel uncomfortable, and don't worry about where the ball goes. Just hit a couple of shots and just think, I am going to lift that left heel off the ground. When I do it, I get the feeling that I'm showing the sole of my shoe to the target. It isn't like that, but that's the feeling that I get. So sometimes the feel isn't real, but I feel that that's happening, and it enables me to get a little bit more of a deeper turn into my right side. So we'll give that a go now. So that's definitely a solid golf shot, nice little soft draw, and I felt like I did that. You can see in the slow motion there, didn't do it anywhere near as much as I thought. But if you can work on that when you train and practice, you're going to find you're going to get a lot better result over time. Nothing's going to be bang, oh, there's 20 yards. Just do it a little bit every day. It's a little bit like planting a lawn. You throw the seeds out, and eventually you water and fertilize, you see shoots of grass coming up, and you'll have a lawn one day. So the other thing I see a lot of older people doing is they tend to try and hit it hard. So they realize they're losing distance, so they hit it hard, and they really use a lot of their body. And typically they will do something like this, and they finish in this position here. So the shaft of the club is up to the sky. When you watch golf on TV, you don't see golf pros finishing there, do you? You see golf pros finishing up here. So people are trying to hit it so hard, and they're using their bodies, they're locking their hands and arms, and that's preventing them from following through very far. Instead, I want you to just be really loose. We don't want to lock the hands and forearms. We want to keep them nice and loose. So I can do that. In fact, you can start to hear a little bit more sound as I do it. And a little simple training drill you can do is to just get an alignment stick like this and swing it. And you hear that noise? Okay, my object is, can we make it louder? Definitely louder. So if I lock up my hands and use my body, there's little noise. If I allow my hands to just relax and flick, look where my follow through is getting. It's up here. So if we can do the same thing with a driver and just allow our hands to start moving the club, you'll find you're going to get a bigger follow through. So I'm going to keep my hands relaxed, allow my hands to get faster. And look at that, my follow through is up here as opposed to down there. There's yards in that, or meters for the Australian and non-American audience. So there's a few things, nothing big, just little tiny things that they will all give you a few more yards. And if you can work on those, it's going to give you a few more yards off the tee, which is going to make you enjoy golf more, lower your score as well because you're hitting less club into the green. But if you really want to lower your score, we've got to work on that short game. And I'm going to put a link to a short game video just up here I know is going to help improve your golf.